Hey y'all, part five, y'all. Some people I knew that had a heart for it and some people didn't. I'm gonna say, for instance, this one person, if I could see her again, I think I did try to look for her years later. She wasn't there. I don't know if she even still worked there, but if I see her, I don't know who she is and I'll make sure I tell her. This lady was, I think, a respiratory therapist. So when I didn't have my vocal in, I think she used to give me like breathing treatments. She was only in there for like about 5 minutes to give me my breathing treatments. And I think she'd leave and she'd come back to take it off or something like that. But she wasn't in there for a long time. But you know what this lady used to actually do? Because I was so stiff, I couldn't do nothing. I was like learning how to do stuff over again, move my body parts and different things like that. This lady used to come into the room sometimes before she gave my treatments or even during my treatments. This lady used to massage my shoulders. She didn't have to do that. Nobody didn't tell her to do that. But that's what she did. She would massage me to, like, loosen up my, my muscles, my body, and stuff like that. I really appreciate it. I could tell that she really cared about her job. She really cared about the people. So I'm just praying if she's still around that, God bless her tremendously in Jesus' holy name. It left an impression on me because 7.5 years later, I still remember it. I still remember her and I still remember what she did. And I'm just so grateful. And she probably would never see this, but we never know God do stuff in mysterious ways. So one day you might not know, she might see this. I'm like, wait a minute, that girl looked familiar. I remember I had her some years ago. So thank God for that. But other people, some nurses, I don't remember what was the qualification for me to get my voice back. I'm thinking it has something to do with like losing weight. But I'm thinking to myself, like, it can't be that because I lost a lot of weight in that period of time, or that month and a half. I lost some weight. Actually, a lot of weight. Not like a lot. Like, I wasn't like big like that. But I lost some weight. So, I don't know if that was a recommendation. But I'm thinking, so like I said, I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, how much weight do you want me to lose? Because based on society and what it says for my height, I'm supposed to be a certain pounds. No, I'm not trying to do that because I will look skinny. And I don't want that. Some people will actually love that. Not me. I still want to be thick. Some meat on my bones. I don't know if that was a qualification that could have been. Because like I said, I lost weight, but it wasn't that weight that they classified for my height. So I don't know if it was that. But I just know trying to express myself to people and I couldn't talk. When I tell you I was so frustrated, I cried so many times. And I think even they gave me a sign language poster to like learn sign language so I could communicate with the nurses. I was not trying to do that because it's like, okay, I'm going to get better to get my voice back. So all this sign language is going out the window. I'm not going to learn this at all because I'm going to be talking soon. But like I said, I was crying because I was just so frustrated. But it was to the point where the nurses said, you don't meet the qualification right now, but they were so sad about me keep crying and being so frustrated. They said, we're going to give you your vocals back, put it back in and see. I think right before they put it back in, I was in speech therapy, physical therapy, and occupational therapy. Now, speech therapy is pretty much you learn how to talk again. Occupational, I think that was like, doing stuff like brushing your hair, combing your hair, brush your teeth. I couldn't do any of that. Like I said, I was right-handed, so all I could just do was just have my hand balled up because when a person has a stroke, that's what they do. The side that's affected, that's all they do. They just put their hand like it's no use to it. And that's the part of the therapy to teach you, okay, your hand, it might have got injured because of the stroke, but it's not the end of the world. You gotta work on it. You gotta keep maintaining it. Sometimes I still don't use it as much as I should. I actually lean more to my left hand. I lean more to my left hand now because I use my left hand now. But I still try to use my right hand. But back then I could never use my right hand. I remember one time because people that come with the lunch menu, you had to circle it. I couldn't use my right hand, so I sometimes just try to circle with my left hand. And I think one time did I write something? And I remember one person came in that was like, oh, this is so cute. Did your kids write that? I don't know if I told them or if I wanted to say, nah, I did that. I wrote that. So my handwriting is still not there, but I'm still working on that, y'all. when I do try to write, it's like very slow and then it hurts. So I could write my first and last name. That only takes what, 5-10 seconds. It probably take me a whole minute to write my first and last name, and then when I do, it hurts. Like, it makes my hand really hurt really bad. Like I'm just pressing so much weight on it. But yeah, when they put my vocal cord, the first thing had me going to occupational therapy. It's like I said, that's when you brush your hair and all that stuff. So I couldn't do any of that anymore. Also, too, physical therapy. That's when you learn how to walk again, stuff like that. Sometimes they'll like read a question the day before, read a little short story, and they'll have me answer it. So, cause like they think it was like to work on my memory, and that's another thing. God is so good. The doctor said, like, once I had the surgery, my kid's father told me, the doctor told him, it's not guaranteed after she had the surgery, she will have her memory back. I think he was talking about long-term memory. When I say glory to God, after he told me exactly what happened, when I tell you I had my long-term memory, I can tell you everything that happened that I remember before the aneurysm. Glory to God. Now my short-term memory, that was another thing. It don't got better over the period of time, but when it first happened, sometimes I would forget my short-term memory. Like, I'm gonna just say, for instance, my daughter diaper. When I got home, I changed her diaper. Except for I left her on the bed and went into the other room to do something. I didn't remember that I left her diaper unless I walked by the room and I actually seen the diaper. And it's like, oh, okay, I forgot. But other than that, like, I didn't have my short-term memory, but long-term memory, glory to God. This is when I could use the bathroom again. There was nurses that took me to the bathroom one time, and I like to be independent and don't really want people to be around me while I'm using the restroom like that. And for them and also for me. But after that, I was like, no, I got it myself. So I told the nurse the next time, like, I'm good. Like, I don't need anybody to come in the bathroom with me. I'm good. And I'm like, are you sure? And I was like, yes. So I sat down, used the restroom. When I tell you, when I got back up, I thought I had it. I fell down on the floor. I think one time I had my glasses on. My glasses fell off my face and it fell on the ground. I think one of the lenses popped out, and nurses came back and I was like, well, oh my goodness, what happened? I thought you said you was okay. Like, you can go to the bathroom yourself. And I was like, I thought I could. I fell a couple of times. I think I actually fell again. It was one other time. My ex-coworker came. It was two of them, and one of them had already left. The one stayed, and I was sitting in a wheelchair because a lot of times they had to have us in a wheelchair if it wasn't like in the PE session doing the therapy or in the hospital bed. We're in a wheelchair. I was in a wheelchair talking to her, and I was trying to take my sock off or either put my shoe on, but I leaned over. Keep forgetting I didn't have balance. When I leaned over, I fell to the ground. When I fell to the ground, all the nurses came rushing in. Thank God I didn't injure my head or fall on my head. I was in the room majority by myself the whole time. Except for this one time, there was another lady that came in. I think she was from another state. And I'm not sure. She could have had like a hernia disc. Forgive me if I'm wrong. And I don't know how it feels to have a hernia disc. But I did hear that it hurts, greatly, and that's before I had my voice. So like, we used to have the curtains shut, and before I got my voice back, they'll put like a fake voice thing to like make me practice. So sometimes I'll have the fake voice in. So when me having the thing shut, she'll hear it sometimes. The other times it's like, I guess she'll be trying to talk to me, hey, how you doing? And I don't say nothing because I can't say nothing, and she can't see me. So it's like, okay. So I remember one time she was telling somebody on the phone, she was like, yeah, my roommate legally blind and deaf. And when she said it, I was like, okay. I don't think I felt any really way, but I was like, okay. So I remember something else she said, kind of like, at the time, I was sad, but I was also happy. It was like a joyful happiness. She told somebody she was on the phone with, she was like, I gotta get out of here. I can't be around her because being around her makes me depressed. That's what she said about me. Like I said, I was in a bad state. I wasn't doing good. So shortly after, probably like a few days later, she probably got moved to another room. But only if she would have stayed around, stuck around, to see the miraculous work of God.